Hi, Madonna, Louise, Veronica Ciccone here.
When will you understand that I am a person and not a thing?
Look it up.
Do something else. Do my eyebrows.
Better to say, am I being true to myself? And is this what I want to say? And have I expressed myself the way I want to express myself? I mean, that's what it's all about.
You're listening to MLVC, the Madonna podcast. Hi, I'm Nadya Ginsburg.
Hey guys, it's Tony, and I have 2 words for Diablo Cody. Call me.
No. Well, just wait. Wait on that one real quick, Tony. Hi, everyone. It's Stefan. Welcome to another episode of MLVC, the Madonna podcast, your place for all things Madonna, Louise, Veronica Ciccone. As you heard, Nadya Ginsburg is back. Hi, Nadya.
Hi.
Nadya.
I'm very honored to be here to talk about one of my favorite people who I love, but also confounds me and just always keeps me guessing. Yeah.
Yes. We are going to unpack a whole lot of Madonna. I swear it's been quite a week to be a Madonna fan, and we're just going to get right to it.
Oh
like
my
Tony,
gosh,
like
so
Tony
much.
addressed, there was a rumor that Diablo Cody has quit the Madonna biopic, but breaking news.
I mean, is it a
as
rumor?
We are going to air.
Yeah, I was just going to say, is it a rumor?
Entertainment Weekly has published a story saying Diablo Cody has not quit. She has just moved on to another project, which is what I've been saying all along. Like, I think the Sun and the Daily Mail are just getting their panties in a knot and liking to stir up some dish about good old Madonna.
But wait a minute. Is this the same as saying, like, we didn't break up, we consciously uncoupled? It's the same thing. They're not working together anymore, right? Like, if things were going well, they would be continuing to work together. So this is a 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, for me, it's like if someone writes a screenplay and people are brought in to do rewrites, that's one thing. But if someone is fired. and then they have to hire someone else, is the old script going to be thrown out, or
it just
is there going to be a
depends.
new one?
It all depends how ugly the shoes are of the person. Did you see? Did you catch? You remember that when she told her she had ugly shoes?
Right.
Yes.
But I mean, like, for example, Nadya, ask your friend Cher, did this kind of thing happen in burlesque?
Well, actually, I do have some real G from behind the scenes. Because I did know someone, a friend of mine worked on the film as an art director, and I was told that, Christina Aguilera was just terrible. I won't mince words. And I had to have a little talk with her in my trailer and say, like, if you're not nice and you're not cool, people are not going to want to work with you, Madonna.
I honestly think that Diablo, she was meant to turn in a first draft, and she probably was like, I'll get her to first base, and Madonna can round the bases with somebody else if need be. But she probably just got paid, and then she was like, oh, she's working on the Powerpuff Girls movie.
Oh, great.
Wait a minute. So you think that this was already... this was like predestined, that this was as far as she was going to go? I disagree. I work punch up on screenplays. Okay. I'm working on one right now.
Is it the Madonna movie?
No, it is not.
Oh, okay.
It does have a gay theme though.
You involved with a gay themed movie? Shocking.
How?
That's so off brand for you.
Listen, this is what I think happened. Madonna has difficulty not relinquishing control over things. Okay. And that's what makes her great, is she controls every element or has of her entire career. However, being a writer takes years and years of work. It's not all about drinking lots of wine, number one.
Rosé.
And it's not about wearing the right dominatrix outfit or like arranging the cards in a certain way. It's a craft, and it takes many years. And also, listen, I find it, I don't just, in my act, I'm not just Madonna, I'm myself. And for many years, it's very difficult to be critical and have a third eye about yourself, especially when you've created a persona. I mean, as Madonna, there's there's Madonna, the civilian, and then there's the Madonna, the creation of Andy Warhol that she has created, that we've all taken, that we all own a piece of, okay? And how could you ever be impartial when like someone maybe didn't want to paint you in the best light and show you to be a little more vulnerable than you'd like? And it's not a condemnation. I just think it must have been very hard. And I could really see like Diablo writing something and then Madonna going, oh, wouldn't it be funnier if this happened? And then how do you also, it's like you're talking to Madonna and she has hired you and it's her life. Yeah. Like you're screwed.
Yeah. The whole thing is diabolical. I mean, I have my own conspiracy theory. I think that when Diablo was gifted her bottle of Madame X perfume, she took one whiff of it and said, I got to get the fuck out of here. And I'm saying
this is it. This is all I'm getting.
This is all I'm getting.
A cheap bottle of perfume.
and I'm saying this not knowing what it smells like. In fact, no one has ever told us what it smelled like. Did anyone buy it? Is it?
I think no. I think somebody did. I think one of our listeners chimed in and said it smells like patchouli. I think there was nodes of patchouli and citrus. I think it smelled like summer rain. Feather boa off of a drag queen after a Marabou. after a pride parade. Something
some ball sweat mingled in there. Okay.
Like you lived. It basically smells like you've lived a life.
I like it. I'm curious. Curious.
If anyone can tell me what it really smells like, slide into my DMs and tell me all about it.
We will see. I'm assuming there is no way this movie is not going to get dragged across the finish line. Some people are hypothesizing that this is the downfall, the movie's over. And I'm just like, hell no. Madonna is going to make sure that this movie happens by hook or by crook. Universal Studios has probably already sunk a ton of cash into this. And they want a Rocket Man. They want a Bohemian Rhapsody. This is going to happen, people. Don't worry. It might take a couple years.
Yes.
It's going to happen. Somebody had mentioned to me, I'm sorry, we're jumping. Madonna is looking so beautiful these days. Is it possible that she could play herself in the movie?
Oh, gosh, no.
I'm going to put on...
Maybe the older version, maybe if it flashes forward to the present, that would be interesting. That could be interesting, but...
I was envisioning it
I think it's best.
Madonna starts the movie and, I have a tale to tell. And then it fades into the into the 80s.
Yeah. But guys, back to this week.
Nadya, can you say This Week in Ciccone for us? We need a female voice of This Week in Ciccone.
All right. Are you ready? Let's dive into This Week in Ciccone.
See, I get what I want.
Yeah, so this lady's been busy with her Instagram. Someone take her phone.
To set the scene, for those people, in case people are not listening to this as it comes out, Madonna this past week has gifted us with 3 amazing photo shoots. One of them looked like it was an actual photo shoot with her social media guy, Ricardo, who's doing a bang-up job. He's photographing her and getting amazing photographs. The other 2 looked like legit just Madonna in front of a ring light in her bathroom with doing some selfies. Either which way,
right.
The first one of her in her barely there underwear created a simmering stir. And then the other 2, she was serving up this long, straight 1995 Madonna at the Brit Awards hairstyle, and she's looking fucking fierce. Nadya, go.
And she's tongue kissing her young boyfriend and smoking weed.
Yeah.
Now, all right, let's start from the beginning. First, we need to discuss that Lola is on Instagram. And the first thing I saw, now listen, when I see Lola...
Is she cursing you out? Are you leaving comments and she's cursing you out?
About wild dick? No. Lola looks gorgeous, but again, she's also emulating sort of the look du jour, which is sort of like a Cardi B kind of a thing. But when I first saw the images...
Lots of lip. There's lots of lip going on. I feel very inadequate. Tony, you've got a lip. Nadya, you've got beautiful lips.
Oh, thank you.
I do not. I've got a little pencil lip. I need like some plumping.
No, please.
We know. We see what happens when people do that. Just stick with what you got.
Well, okay. First of all, this is what I find fascinating. Okay, so the first photo shoot, she's in her bra and underwear and like a kind of like a bondage hat, like a leather daddy hat, which I really enjoyed.
Erotic.
And this is what the reason I love Madonna is that she, first of all, anyone, J-Lo, Gwen Stefani, none of them would be expressing themselves so effortlessly in their sexualized, sophisticated way if it were not for Madonna.
Right.
Every woman in any generation is a pioneer. I don't know if you watch Downton Abbey, but Lady Edith.
Oh, quite.
Okay. Anytime as a woman you doubt that this is true, you just refer to Lady Edith, who at the age of 30, her life was over. She had a child out of wedlock. That was it. Okay. And I find fascinating. I'm never shocked when the patriarchy or the straight powers that be wag their finger at Madonna and tell her to go live in a cave because she's a certain age and she should not be sexual. But what I find fascinating is the reaction of allies or like some of my closest friends who love her, which again just spells out the thesis. If you're a woman, you can't fucking win. You just can't win. One of my gay friends was like, rolling his eyes, and was very upset. He said, she's trying so hard. Why is she being so desperate? She has a 40-year-old career. Why does she have to do this? She's competing with Lola. Okay, the Lola thing I don't think is completely out of range. However, this is why we love her. She is constantly saying, when is it too old to not be sexualized? But so what is in the mind of these gay men who support her and love her and yet are ashamed of her? And I just want to quickly go by bullet point and then we can go back. Okay.
Yes, please.
Those pictures hit the airwaves. Everyone freaks out. And she goes, oh yeah, you don't like that, bitch? Well, here's me looking even more like Lola's Instagram with my grills and my beautiful hair, and I'm gonna with my 20-year-old boyfriend, and I'm gonna smoke weed, bitch. You don't like it, bitch? Have some of this, bitch. And so I was just clap, 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 clap. You go, Madonna, you do it. However, this is just my end button, and then we can go back. I wrote for Joan Rivers, okay? So I would sit at a table with Joan Rivers and pitch jokes. I sit right next to her. And what I would love about her, the many things I loved, like she was always staying like current. Like she came in with like blue nails, or she'd have like I did in my midlife crisis, my pink tips, which I don't think you see. But also her face, like, you know, as a certain age where you should have some lines in your face, like it was scary up close. And, you know, I do look at these pictures of Madonna and sometimes I wish she were doing for sexuality what she was doing for age and just a little bit. It just would have been so truly punk rock. She has one, I don't care. Everyone used to say, she's not the most beautiful, not the best singer, not the best dancer. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. She's one of the most gorgeous women, I think, that there ever was. Would have been nice to maybe see what that face could have looked like.
I know.
And listen, she's a victim to it. Like, I think, you know, Cher once said, and believe me, I'm going to shut up in a minute. Cher once said, the longer I look good, the better gay men feel.
She's so right.
And it's the same thing with Madonna. There's so much pressure. So I'm not beating up on her. I'm just saying. So that is my summation. So weekend, I just had to get it out. Okay?
Take a drink, Nadya. Take a drink. Welcome to church, ladies and gentlemen.
So what do you have to say, guys? What are your thoughts on any of that this week? The shade from allies. Can you tell me why, as gay men who love Madonna, what was your reaction to the photos?
I mean, I can't ascribe motives to other people. I don't read minds, but I don't. She's not
Heated.
Well, the thing is that she's doing these things, but she's not really giving a reason. Not that there needs to be a reason, but are you just getting everybody at your house at 10 o'clock in the morning to get hair and makeup and start a shoot, and then let's do another one tomorrow? I don't know. I mean, I wish that there were more of a rhyme or reason for these photo shoots. I mean, is it?
Well, it's her Instagram is her business.
If I was as wealthy as Madonna, and I had all those people on retainer, I would, on a regular Friday night, I'd invite people over. I'd be like, bring some outfits, do some hair, do some lip, and take some pictures. Why? Just because, bitch. I wouldn't care. I just want it.
I know, guys.
I'm all for it.
No, but listen. But what about the shade from, did you witness any gay men who were on her team giving her shade about being sexual? I found it very interesting. There were 3 photos in the underwear shoot. My friend took issue with the third.
The one where it was like the lighting was slightly overhead and there was a bit more shadows on her face. And it wasn't as like fully lit as I think some of the other ones. Like her face wasn't as blown out. Like it did show a little bit more. Well, I think you and I even messaged about it, and I said,
yes.
Yeah, the third one could have been left off because
it was,
I think we want her to look. We as Madonna fans are, I think, expecting her to look flawless all the time. And if she doesn't look flawless all the time, then we take her to task for some reason. And I don't know why nobody's taking fucking Iggy Pop to task for looking. I mean, he looks like he was run through a dishwasher that got run over by a 16-wheeler that got blown up. Iggy Pop is so weathered and so haggard.
Well, men and women.
Exactly. It's like it's such a double standard.
Yeah. Listen, Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, okay? Britney Spears, when you're a child star and you become a woman, you have to just pretty much have a whole ritual where you're saying, it's okay to jack off to me, guys. Yeah. I'm going to come out with a snake. Miley Cyrus is going to be right? But what does Justin Timberlake do to become a man? Put on a suit and stand in front of a big orchestra. He's a man. That's his bar mitzvah, okay? Everything's a double standard, but with women, I think the third image was supposed to be like the Us weekly things where like stars, they're just like you. They go food shopping. Hers were like stars, they're just like you. I'm like, it was like pretending she didn't know what she was doing. It was like for kind of verite. It was sort of like, I know this isn't perfectly perfect, but this is me admitting that I'm human. I don't know. That's what I got from it. But you still haven't answered the question. You guys have still, you are evading the question.
I'm trying to, but you guys keep cutting me off.
I know, I can't shut up.
All right, go Tony, go.
Well, I had someone talk to me about, because as I've mentioned before, I'm a Madonna concierge service. So whenever she does anything, people have to contact me and talk to me about it. So this time it was, she's just become Mae West. And then I thought about that and I'm like, well, Mae West was known for being a celebrated wit, a writer. She was a performer who used sex in her act in her entire career. This woman died in her late 90s. And a few years before she died, she had done a sex farce called Sextet. So if people are comparing Madonna to Mae West, then I think that's a pretty right-on comparison. I'm not saying
Yes.
they look alike, but they are women that refuse.
They're blonde.
Yeah, they're blonde, and they looked similar on the single cover of the Secret CD single, but that's another story. And
I just watched her documentary, but Mae West. It's funny. I watched the Tina documentary and the Mae West documentary.
yeah, the
in
Mae
one
West one is
night.
amazing.
And
yeah.
it was, and so much like Madonna,
Yeah.
and unbelievably so. That the amount of power she wielded, even in the studio system, with making us unbelievable. But yes, but go back.
Yeah,
So
and the older
you had someone in your life.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
and
that
you know
was-
they're unfairly comparing her to, or trying to insult Madonna by unfairly comparing her to Mae West, and finally
But why is that an insult?
well, like, oh, look at her, she's starting to look like old Mae West, and that's when I was like, well, you know what? I never really looked at Mae West as far as like she was this great conventional beauty, but what she brought to the table for 100 years of her life was out of. It was legendary. So if that's what we're comparing her to, then I think that, yeah, Madonna is turning into Mae West. I don't know if she looks like Mae West. I'm not going to say that.
Who cares what she... she liberated people's sex. She said she took shame away from sex.
Exactly.
She said that that's your sexuality as a woman empowers you. And that boy toy is wink, wink, because I'm nobody's toy. You can say that, but I mean, I'd be honored to be compared to Mae West.
Yeah, and to go back to what I was saying earlier, like, why is she doing all this? What's the point? And the only reason I say that is because the Madam X tour film needs to be delivered. The client is waiting for the deliverables. Like,
Tony
where is it?
Is so anxious for this DVD. He just wants to put that era to bed.
I hate loose ends.
It's coming, Tony. You know it's coming. It's probably finally finished, and now they're just trying to find a distributor and to get the marketing plan together. Probably by fall.
We must be taking the scenic route.
Yes, well,
it'll arrive.
We've seen all the back. We've seen everybody sitting with her going, "Oh my God, it's so brilliant! Oh my God!"
Well, and who knows? Maybe some of these photo shoots that she's doing are for marketing materials for the Madam X rollout. Who knows?
Listen, no one needs to have a reason. Why does Gwen Stefani do it, or J-Lo, or anybody, or the Kardashians, who she follows all of them? I was like, oh, she follows every Kylie and all of them. It's part of their business. It's part of her business, and I don't take issue with it.
Nadya, to answer your my exposure to the Madonna fallout of those selfies, I go on Twitter and there was outrage, there was joyfulness, there was elation. It ran the gamut in terms of the responses to that. I think a lot of people think Madonna is too old to be doing what she's doing, but back in... when was Girly Show? 1993. I mean, when she was doing Girly Show, they were calling her Granny Donna. I mean, she's been getting, trashed for her age and her antics for far too long, and it's just ridiculous. Personally, I didn't have anyone ring me up and say she should put her clothes back on, but I think everyone thinks that. I think a lot of people are like, oh, 62-year-olds in general shouldn't be doing this. But in 20 years... when, we look back, we'll be like, fuck yeah, good for you, Madonna, for being 62. I hope at 62, I feel that confident in my body to want to put myself half naked. Now, I'm sure nobody's going to want to see it, but I want to be able to say, who gives a shit what people think of myself at 62, putting my half naked body on Instagram? If I want to do it, I should do it.
There was a very interesting reaction in the Irish press, which even kind of blew me away due to these photos. Because, eagle-eyed Irish Madonna fans noticed that in the bathroom, in the background, there was an Irish product called Pseudocreme. It's an antiseptic health balm or something like that. But anyway, while all,
a salve.
Yeah, so while everyone else is talking about her appearance and, how inappropriate it all is, the Irish people were just happy to be represented in Madonna's bathroom. So there you go.
Nice.
Look, we're on her shelf. Thank God.
No,
we've been waiting for this product placement for years.
There were articles in 2 Irish newspapers, and I was like, oh, they're so cute. I love the Irish.
I know. I want to go to Ireland so badly. It seems so
I want to
magical
go
there.
beyond the borders of New York City.
Oh, geez.
I'd just be happy with that.
I know.
Oh, my
like,
God.
I think I've got like a 4-block radius that I've been traveling. I've worn a path from my apartment to the gym to the grocery store and back. You know,
I know.
But I'm fully vaccinated, so.
Me too.
And the
Awesome.
CDC
Me
just
three.
cleared us to travel, so I think it's a road trip to LA.
Woo, woo. I would love to see you.
Nadia, tell us about what.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but
Go ahead.
Just real quick, I just wanted to
Yes.
check in with you. So what does this mean for your performing?
My act.
For your act.
Madonna.
Your act.
My act. Madonna. To me, it's the same. I mean, she's I think I spoke with you last time we talked that I had growing pains with doing the Madonna impression. It's just one of many. And that, and one of my concerns was like, comedy has to be cruel and that I don't find it rewarding to be cruel. I guess what it means for me is that it's more fun for me to make jokes about it, that I can actually be an ally for her, that I can tell people to sort of fuck off, but, I don't know. This is a little off topic, but I watched also the Woody Allen, Mia Farrow documentary on HBO.
Oh yeah.
And I have to say, not unlike...
I gotta get on these documentaries.
Oh, you didn't see it?
haven't seen any of these.
Okay, well, I read the Woody Allen book. Yes, I read Woody's book, and there was a woman from the Paris Review who was in the documentary, and she says something that really rung true to me, which was that as a young girl, Woody Allen really had an impression upon her as to why she wanted to be an artist. And I had a similar experience as a young girl watching Annie Hall and Manhattan and going, that's the kind of thing I want to do. And I have to say, I really allowed my love for him to cloud my judgment in terms of, I didn't want to believe. You can watch the documentary, make up your own mind, okay? And again, whether Michael Jackson molested those children or not, I will always listen to his music, whether Woody did it or not, and I believe he did. I will still love his movies because we wouldn't like any art if we all had to love the artist, obviously, the art versus the artist conversation. However, my question to you, and this is also why I love and I'm so honored that I have a gay following, that I have a gay audience, because I get to experience the chivalry and love of gay men that is like, gay men love and protect women, and the way gay men will fiercely defend Madonna or Cher, any like person, it's like they're coming after their mom or their sister, or and I'm I have been on the receiving end of that love, for which I'm so grateful. However,
we love you.
I'm going to ask you a question now. Finally, as a Madonna fan, what would Madonna have to do for you to say, I do not support you anymore?
Tony, you go.
Oh, I absolutely know.
What would it be? What would it be?
As a lifelong devotee of Joan Crawford, I would have to say, I remember reading Mommy Dearest and just being horrified and really depressed, because I mean, what you see in the movie is like a Looney Tunes cartoon compared to like reading the book, So I immediately thought, I was like, wow, this is totally a deal breaker with anyone I would know personally or someone that I've emulated, just harming a child because you're having a bad day or whatever. So I think that if this is, I hate to even say it out loud, but if it turned out that Madonna was like beating her children with velvet covered hangers, I would be like,
or a face massager that looks like a black cock and balls.
Yes.
God forbid.
But yeah, okay. I mean, anything like that would be like, oh my
beating
God.
her kids. Okay.
Yes. It would make me throw my Dear Jessie import single in the trash. I'd be like, this is no. But that goes along
Okay.
with any of the other deflated icons, as I like to call them.
Okay. What
Don't
about
harm
you?
children.
No harming children.
I mean, I'll go with Tony that would probably be one of those things where I'd just be like, and we're done. Because unlike you, Nadya, well, first of all, I watched a little bit of that Michael Jackson documentary. I think I got 15, 20 minutes into it. I had to stop watching it. It was making me too upset. And I have been unable to listen to Michael Jackson music ever since. It has ruined I don't know. Again, I don't know if he did it.
I get it.
If he didn't, I don't know. But the thought that those men say that he did rang more true to me. And I think because we don't know his life, his life just seems a little too bizarre and too. I mean, we thought it was weird when it was happening, and now that they're grown up, I mean, it looks even more weird. And I think it was just so unsettling to me. And I thought, like, I mean, PYT comes on in the grocery store, and I used to like have spontaneous dance breaks in the frozen food aisle to PYT, and I loved it. And it has stripped the joy from any of his music. I can't listen to it. And somebody said Bruno Mars should re-record all of Michael Jackson's catalog so we could safely listen to his music again. And I support that. I'm like, yes, if Bruno Mars re-records PYT, I'm back on board. Because as long as it's not Michael Jackson, I don't care.
See, it's okay. But go ahead, but continue. I have thoughts on that, but I'm holding back. Go ahead.
As far as Madonna goes, I think if something salacious like that, where she was like inflicting harm on somebody, it can't be just like she's a bitch type of thing, or she's being nasty, because we've seen Truth or Dare.
She's not a nice person. Come on.
So I don't know. I think it would have to be something. Maybe if she was a Trumper, I'd be like, oh fuck, and then I'd have to like dump her. Sorry, Madonna, you had your day.
Mm-hmm.
I had to refuse some pretty outstanding dick because they were Trump supporters, and I did it.
Oh my God! Congratulations!
You were a strong,
I had to unfollow.
Strong woman.
No, you guys, it was bad. I had to unfollow Alana Hamilton Stewart off Instagram because it turned out she was a Trump supporter, and I'm like, where am I going to see these tacky Beverly Hills Housewives now? I'm not going to get to see it on her feed anymore. But
I have had to unfollow so many hot half-naked models on Instagram because they're Trumpers. It's been really upsetting to not see them in my feed anymore.
Telling you,
guys, I don't know.
Nadya,
it's just really emotional. It's
Any
really
of them
emotional.
Latino?
No. Sadly, most of them were just basic white guys. It's just like a six-pack's a six-pack, guys. Good for you and your steroids, but take your Trumper self somewhere else.
Nadya, one good thing did come out of this Woody Allen documentary. Right in the middle of it airing, this photo suddenly came out. It's all over social media now. I forgot who posted it originally. I think it was Ronan Farrow, but it's a photo of Madonna in costume on backstage on set of Shadows and Fog, the Woody Allen film that she made.
Oh, where she played the gypsy.
Yeah, with baby Ronan Farrow in her lap. And I'm like, well, I'm glad that this came to light.
Yes. No, I think I'm glad the documentary was made.
She should have just taken that kid home with her,
Who would have known
I watched that whole movie, bored to tears, waiting for Madonna. And I was like, she comes at the very end. She's in it for
you're wrong. She comes in. She's in the first 3 minutes. I left the theater right after.
No, I thought she was at the end.
She's in the.
Oh my God!
She's in the first 3 minutes.
I must have sat through it thinking she was coming back, and she never did.
She never did.
Revisionist theory. See, look at that. Now, wait. Let me ask you a question. Though.
Yeah.
Why do you think gay men that love Madonna and are allies go to her concerts, buy the music? Why, when they look at that picture of her in the underwear, why do they get mad? Enter the psyche of that fan. I want to know why. Tell me why, guys.
I think it's because of an uneasy relationship with their mother's sexuality.
Ooh, talk to me a little bit more about that. I want to know about
Let's go deeper,
Most
Tony.
gay boys are mom's best friend, like, come on, let's go to Macy's and look at makeup, Yeah.
Okay, right.
Do our nails together. Let's have mimosas at brunch.
Honey, pull out that lipstick for me while I'm driving, So, you grow up as mommy's little friend, and then all of a sudden you become a teenager, you start to go through your hormones, and then, if your mother's single, she starts dating, and you're like, why is it smelling like perfume in this house? Why is she sexy? I can't handle it. Please don't show me that arm. I don't want to see exposed arm. I don't want to see, no, mom, no.
An arm?
Like,
okay.
your mother starts wearing like
Maybe
a sleeveless shirt.
An off the shoulder,
and
an off the shoulder chiffon
for a
number.
child.
Come on.
That's too much,
Continue.
So it's being confronted with that you're just like uneasy, and
But it's Madonna.
I know, but for a lot of us,
She's always been sexual. So to her, she's like a mom to you.
She's become maternal to me. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. This isn't
The maternal girl, material girl to maternal girl.
Okay.
I do not view Madonna as my mother. My mother is very opposite of Madonna's behavior. So I am very easily able to separate the two. To me, nice. I'm all for it. I'm like, Madonna, get your kid off whenever you want, like, who cares? Strip in the bathroom, take a couple selfies. Why do I think they get upset by it?
Yes, these are fans.
I think that there is an ageism at play where I think if people are shading her, they either are too young and think that older people than themselves should not behave in that way. It's very puritanical views, but they think they should not behave that way over a certain age. Or if it's older gay fans who are shading her, like people in their 50s or 60s, if those people are shading her, I think that they have, maybe it's their own egos are bruised. They don't feel comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
And they are looking at her saying, I don't like that she's doing this because I feel uncomfortable about myself. It's a projection thing. They maybe feel uncomfortable. They feel too old. They don't feel sexual at 62. And Madonna's doing it saying, fuck yeah, you can be 62 and sexual. Look at me. I'm naked in my bathroom. And that it scares them a little bit. And they back away. And it's like putting an animal in a corner. They just start they start jabbing at it. And that's they're releasing their inner anger about their own insecurities at Madonna.
Okay. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I hear.
It still surprises me when it happens, though. Like, I'm always surprised from fans. Like I said, the moral majority or the patriarchy, of course, they're all going to say the same shit. But when it's people on our side of the fence, it's always so curious to me that I'm just so fascinated with why.
Yeah.
That it's just so interesting to me.
I mean, I'm guilty of that. I can be snarky and critical, but it's only because I want her to focus on finishing the tour film. If the Madam X tour film was not hanging over my head, I would say, take off your clothes and just do OnlyFans, go for it.
Right.
Like, the kids don't have to see it, but please finish your previous project and then we can talk about being sexy over 60,
Can we talk about a little bit with something that's happening in her voice when she speaks? What is happening? Is it Invisaligners or what is it?
She's got the grills on. The grills on.
No, it's not only when she has the grills. It's not just the grills. It is an affectation.
Yeah.
It is an affectation. Listen, that's why I love Madonna. Once again, she's not fearless. She's fucking terrified, but she acts in spite of her fear.
Mm-hmm.
And that inspires me. But I don't know where this thing in the voice is coming from.
It's definitely put on. It's definitely put on. Because there are interviews that she does, and sometimes it's there and sometimes it's not. Now, I don't know if it's meant to sound like, I have a very, street, like non-wealthy sounding voice or whatever, but you can put on a bit of an airs to it. If I wanted to sound like that and dot my T's and cross my I's, I could sound very, very upper crust, but I don't. I sound like street trash roaming around the East Village,
No,
you know?
you
And
don't.
it's
So is this Madonna's new version of her British accent? Now that she's
yes.
Well, it is. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, listen, and I get it. She is very smart. She's very well read, and her image though is like as this pop confection, and so I think there's always this desire to be loved and to fit in and let people know I'm not just this one thing. And it's actually when people just like say know me for Madonna, I'm always like, well, that's not all that I am. Like I am like I have so many friends who are drag queens and impersonators. Like I'm not an impersonator. I'm a comedian that does different characters. But I think with Madonna, I think, you know, I don't know. It's also, she lost her mother, right? She was very young. And it's like Marilyn. They said Marilyn, when she looked at the camera, the reason we fell in love with her is that she was like this orphan that was wanting to be loved. And we see that with Madonna too, this desire to be loved, you know, by the public.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes her voice is really... It is to be like it should be taken seriously as an artist. I just wish that she knew that, like, you know, when her voice. I mean, it's gone through so many different registers. It's almost kind of squeaky, kind of the way my voice is. It's weird, like the younger voice.
Well, she used to have a Brooklyn
I don't
accent,
know.
even though she was from Michigan.
A little bit.
You know.
Yeah, she's like Zelig. I don't know if you saw the movie Zelig with Woody Allen, which is a work of art. Did you see it?
Oh yeah, that's the one where he's a
No.
chameleon, and there's amazing archival footage. Yeah.
It's a fake documentary, and it's basically, I think it's an homage. When did homage become homage? To
When Madonna started speaking with an accent, that's when.
Exactly. I invented everything. It's like the immigrant experience, but it's basically, we all do it. I remember ordering a falafel with grape leaves in New York once, and my friend looked at me and she's like, why did you say grape leaves? And I was like, because we all want to connect, we all want to be loved. And so in the movie, it was this guy, whoever he talked to, he would become the person. He was talking to a Chinese old man, he would morph physically into, and scientists were studying him. It's a pretty great movie.
Oh, wow.
Mia is in it. Yeah. But Madonna's like that too. She's an artist. So she wants to be loved and to fit in and to morph.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. You know, she gets accused of appropriating cultures and personas and all that, and I don't think she's doing that. I think it's much like Cindy Sherman. She's just becoming part of the landscape and standing out within that realm.
Agreed.
Yep.
You know, I grew up in Philadelphia, and I definitely had a Northeast Philadelphia accent. You know,
such a
home,
good one.
phone.
I love it.
I'd be like, can I get a glass of water? Can I get a glass of water? And when I went to school, when I went to college in New York, and I said, can I get a glass of water? The waitress looked at me like, what? What do you want? And I realized I have to stop saying water because it will like identify me way too much and make me seem like a hick. And so I started saying water. And now I will go home.
Yeah.
My little nieces and nephews, they're all like, mommy water, mommy water. And I'm like, the cycle is perpetuating itself. But I think Madonna's, you know, she's come from Detroit and she wants to sound a bit more, I don't know if wealthy or regal is the word, but worldly, right?
Yes.
Not so
well-traveled.
Pinpoint her to you know, because she's lived all over the world, she's traveled all over the world millions of times.
I mean, just listen to Extreme Occident. She'll tell you exactly what she means. But speaking of accents, you know, she will be speaking her New York accent because she's back in Manhattan, right, Stefan?
I was so excited to see that she's back. Currently, I think she was in New York to do a couple bathroom selfies, and now she's out at the Hamptons, letting her children ride their horses, you know, probably just taking in some fresh air for Easter. You know, you've got to go out to the Hamptons for Easter. It's very posh. Well, where are you going to hunt for Easter eggs in New York City? How crass. No, we're going to go to the estate in the South Hamptons, and we're going to hunt for Easter eggs properly.
Those free-range eggs.
I know. I hope that there's a mobile editing suite at the Bridgehampton estate, because you can't just spend your entire day on a horse, you know?
Listen,
Yeah.
I getting back to that idea about appropriation, it's like it's celebration.
Mhm.
Listen, it's RuPaul said we should use all the crayons in the coloring
Yeah.
book, and I should be able to wear a dashiki.
Mhm.
There's a difference between me wearing a dashiki and blackface. Like that's a confounding one, because I believe it's a celebration of culture and things. It's not that you are appropriating it. But you have to do it on a case-by-case basis. I came into this recently with the expression spirit animal, okay, which is a native term. However, we evolved. From the first single-cell amoeba in the water, we are related to reptiles and birds, and we have animal. They're part of us, okay, and so every human being can feel an affinity and a love for an animal and have a spirit animal. It's to use that expression, right? So there's a difference between using the expression and not saying that only Native Americans can have this very sacred connection with all animals, right? So I don't know. Right now we're focusing on language because we have to have these difficult conversations and we need to all become more aware. But I hate when it's like wasted time if someone's wearing grills or a dashiki or using a term lovingly and respectfully,
I mean, remember when Madonna was wearing saris and painting her face? That was gorgeous. She looked so good.
Gwen Stefani did it when she was, right?
She wore a bindi for like the first half of her career.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't
Cancel
know.
that, America.
Question. When do you think the moment will be? There is going to be an event that will happen in our lives. We don't know when it's going to happen. Are you prepared?
Oh, I don't like where this question's going. I don't like it.
When Lola goes blonde.
Oh, I'd be so on board with that. But
Okay.
it's going to be a while before she does that.
I thought you were talking.
We may have to wait years. I'm prepared for that.
With a perfectly placed mole,
Oh my gosh. It is going to be such a moment, and I'm glad it elicited the gasps that I wanted, because I feel the same level of excitement.
She needs to whip out that blonde hair right when Madonna's movie hits the theaters. Like, she shows up at the premiere with blonde hair and steals the moment from her mother.
Stop.
What about her playing Madonna?
No.
What about Lola playing Madonna?
No. She's not.
No.
She can barely speak.
I like the finger. I appreciate the finger.
No. But what I'm going to say, it's going to be, before I forget, it's going to be like that scene in Soap Dish. Lola's going to come down this like circular staircase, and she's going to turn with that blonde hair and go, "Hello, mother." And Madonna's going to look at her and be like, "No.
You go upstairs. You go smarch right back up there.
You have really done it now, Lord.
Get the cameras off of her. They're supposed to be on me. This is my fucking movie.
It's going to be major.
Can you imagine? That would be a moment.
But Nadya, I thought
she would be cut out of the will if she did that. If she showed up at the movie premiere with blonde hair and Madonna didn't know.
I thought that the event that you were referring to, which is also another event that people are going to be desperately seeking, is the day that either Rocco or Lourdes shows up at mother's door and says, "You're going to be a grandmother."
I think she's going to be into that.
Yeah, I think she'll be into it too, but I think the world is going to have an opinion about it,
Granny Donna.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So now you're saying that once she's a grandma, then she won't be able to be as sexual.
Oh, I hope so, because Anne Margaret was a grandmother. Or is a grandmother, and look at how gorgeous that woman is. Joan Collins is a grandmother.
Listen, it just means you spread your legs and you gave birth to someone who spread their legs.
Exactly. But, that's what I'm saying, is that we're going to get that unfortunate narrative, that a woman...
Babies make very cute props in photo shoots.
A woman is, experiencing a rite of passage, but the world is going to spin it into something negative and embarrassing,
Yes.
I thought you were going to say, are we prepared for the day Madonna dies? I thought we were going to get heavy with us because I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Let me tell you something. This is one of the most obnoxious things.
We've all thought about it.
One of the most obnoxious things that I've ever experienced. I was at a gay bar in Dallas in like 1991 or 2. I was in town for the weekend for a Garth Brooks concert. Don't judge me.
Oh, dear.
Okay.
So I'm at this gay bar, and
this is a rough moment, Tony.
I know. And it's like late, like 1:32 in the morning, and they have one of those like cheap, LED signs, that says like 99-cent drinks at midnight or whatever. And then all of a sudden it said at 1:25 a.m. Madonna died. And and this is 1991 because no one has phones. There's one payphone in the girls' room and the drag queen's using it. And it was just like, I'm looking around. I was like, is this true? How do we know? And, I was, of course, the only queen in the bar that was like, trying to solve a crime, but don't do that, And since then, I haven't thought about that because I don't want to think about that.
I think the other reason it comes to my mind occasionally is when we have one of those other icons pass away, like George Michael, Whitney Houston, Prince. Whenever any of those gravity icons from the 80s when Madonna became just as big as one of those, I think whenever any of those people pass away, it always rings to me like, okay, is Madonna safe? Is she going to be around with us for that long? Is she going to do a tribute? I like to think so. I always try to prepare myself for that sadness that's going to come because for me, it's great that we will have her legacy. I mean, we will be able to look back on her films and her videos and her interviews and listen to her music until we eventually cross over. But I think what will be most sad for me is that she won't be there to create new music. Like one of the greatest joys in life for me, regardless of how it turns out, is being able to hear a new Madonna album for the very first time. I love that experience. I love that joy of being treated to fresh Madonna music that she's been working on. And I think when she passes away, to know that we might get some unreleased demos or B-sides or unreleased music that she was working on from years past, but it will never be something
But if you're
new.
a Madonna fan, you've already heard it.
Right. But it'll be tough, it's tough when anyone goes, honestly,
Would you be happy if Madonna's next show were more like a Sandra Bernhard show? Because that's what I want to see.
Yeah, that's what I want to
see
too.
her come out and not like Tears of a Clown. She's got to dress like a clown and ride around on a tricycle and all this stuff. I want her to come out, sit down, look hot, in her own casual, hot way, not have to do any singing or not to do any dancing, and talk and be real and share anecdotes and like play unplugged and just talk. Like that is the show I would love to see. It's probably never going to happen, but
give it 20 years. Yeah. I have a feeling we will not get a show like that from Madonna right now. But, when she's too old to want to dance and sing, maybe when she's 80,
she's not
I could
really
see her.
dancing. She's sort of doing the electric slide now.
Yeah.
I mean, the human nature in the show, she did get into her cool shapes and all of that. Maybe it was the hip.
Her hip was bothering her. Now that she's the bionic woman, she's bringing back those deep knee squats in the next show. You watch.
So listen, I see the resistance, guys. I feel this gay resistance.
No.
I don't know.
Nadya,
it's tough. It's tough.
I love your idea, and that's what I wanted to see. With Madame X, I wanted it to be more of a cabaret experience, but now I think there could be a good hybrid of that if she took some elements from Moulin Rouge, Folies Bergère, Crazy Horse in Paris with like the light show and the naked girls. And she doesn't have to do a lot of dancing. She could just move through, cut a swath through these like gorgeous topless girls, and gyrations and costumes and glitter and a silver moon. That's what I want to see.
But
I'm down for that.
I want her to be confessional in a way she's never been, like really vulnerable and confessional. And I don't know if we'll ever see that from her. Yeah. I don't know if she can be. but I know, but when I said that to my other gay friends, they were like, no, she has to sing and she has to dance. And I don't know, I guess I want to know the Madonna behind the Madonna. Like, I want her to like
shed that layer.
And maybe that's also me projecting, like in my work, like I want to go more into exploring different things about like my point of view rather than just through these other women, because really what I do and what she does, she happens to be that person, but it's an image. It's an idea. It's not exactly true to who she is, you know?
You don't wake up in the morning thinking about your papa not preaching and, you know, or
whatever. Well, Cher once said, you know, sometimes I wake up and I don't want to be Cher. You know, like she doesn't want to be that thing. She just wants to like be a normal person, you know?
Go to the grocery store, buy some avocados, have some dip.
As I like to say, wander the aisles at Trader Joe's horny and afraid to make eye contact. Like the rest of you slobs.
Well, didn't you say that in your sketch with Juan Pablo?
Yes. That was so fun. How much do you love him?
Oh, yeah, please.
Juan Pablo, he's so great.
We love talking to him.
You're like, he's gorgeous, he's talented, and then you're like, he's going to be a dick. And then you're like, what? You are and you know when people are sweet and it's like, you're pretending to be sweet.
He's not.
No, he is so nice and kind, and I just,
he is a charming Latin gentleman of distinction. I was like so impressed with him, and I want to see him play Desi Arnaz. Don't you think?
He would be. Yes. Oh, I know we're running out of time, but how do you feel about Nicole Kidman playing Lucille Ball with a face that no longer moves? She is beautiful. She is such a good actress, but there was no face work back in Lucille Ball's time.
It's the same reaction I had when it was announced that she would be playing Samantha in Bewitched. I'm like, great actress, wrong vehicle.
Can't move her nose.
Well,
that movie was terrible. That was not the Bewitched movie. We deserve a reboot of that because it was just not a good version.
Although I love the casting of Amy Sedaris as Mrs. Kravitz, my personal icon. It was a missed opportunity.
Totally.
Amy can do no wrong. She can do no wrong.
And neither can you, Nadia. Thank you so much.
Oh,
I know,
thank you, guys.
Nadia.
That's because you don't date me and you're not related to me, and that's why you say that.
Oh,
but I'll take it.
Stop it.
Are we not related? I'm sure we're related somehow. I mean,
Nadia. So now that we're coming out of the end of Hellmouth, hopefully we can see you on stage in 2021. Maybe.
Yes. Yes, well, my tour booker, I might do some shows in Palm Springs. You know, last year I was going to spend the whole summer pretty much in Provincetown, but here's the deal. This is a wonderful thing that's come out of the pandemic, though, is that I really love that I can go live and connect with people all over the world. And people can just tip and they don't have to pay. If you don't have any money, you can still watch. If you do, you can tip. So I think the virtual shows are still here to stay, although I do miss being on stage.
You want that applause.
Yeah.
The connection, because
the sweat.
Well, dude, especially when you don't record it, it's like this is this intimate thing that's happening. I remember, I'll tell you very quickly, I was doing a play with Mo Collins and who's very funny from Mad TV.
Yeah.
So many other very talented people. I did a play 2 years ago. And I loved her. I've always been a fan of her. And we knew each other peripherally, but I got to be in this play with her. And we were sitting backstage. There was so much love and angst about, and I turned to her and the rest of the cast, and I was like, do you realize we're just a bunch of primates pretending to be other primates in a room full of other primates. Like this is what we're choosing to do, and we're all like, rubber baby bumper bunkers. Like we're all like so scared, and we had so much love. Like it was very moving, but I was like, this is such a weird fucking thing we're doing. Like, but that's why it's so sacred. You know, it's unlike. I'll quickly end on this. I had a theater teacher in college, and she said the difference between plays and movies is that a play is something like a house, and we re-inhabit it, whether it was from the Greek times and we're doing it now, or an actor re-inhabiting it every day, 5 days in a row. And movies are like a fascination with death, because we are looking at a moment in time that's frozen.
Yeah.
When your heart's not open. No, but it's a frozen. So that's the thing. Like, yes, in my long-winded answer, I can't wait to be having like some juicy experience that will only happen one time with a bunch of juicy people in
amazing.
a room.
If you book Palm Springs, I'm flying out. But seriously, tell everyone.
Seriously, I will come to Palm Springs in a heartbeat.
Well, I'll be back
Tell
in New
everyone
York. I'll be at Club Coming. I'll be everywhere. Oh,
I'll
follow
be
me
there
on
too.
Instagram. Follow me on Instagram.
Yeah.
For as much I am an internationally adored comedian and writer, I have really dropped the ball on my socials. So follow me, because I've been going live as Madonna. I'm going to do it again. I've been going live as Cher.
Your Instagram lives with Selene every Wednesday are hysterical.
So good.
Thank you. And I'm thinking of doing many more things live on my Instagram. So go follow Nadya Ginsburg, like Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And I hope to see you all there.
Awesome. Wow, this was
Thank
really
you so
fun. We
much,
went over a little bit, but
guys.
I could talk to you all night. Thank you, Nadya.
We could just keep chatting and chatting and chatting. But yeah, Nadya, thank you for joining us for a very introspective, heartfelt conversation. I think people are going to love it. They're going to love you.
I think it's a place where we're all kind of at right now. We've been here for a year in our minds, and it's like, all right, this is how I feel now. Let's go out back into the world,
Yes. Reborn.
So true. And everyone, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to us here at MLVC. We love having you in every week. Please feel free to drop us a line on Twitter or Instagram at MLVC Podcast. We'll be back again all too soon with some more Tony longing for the Madam X DVD, for Stefan longing for some Madonna disco, and Nadya just longing.
I love it. That's exactly what I was going to say. It was the same thing. I love it. Yes.
All right. Well, Nadya longs. I'm going to want and need to see you guys next time. All right. Love you.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.